Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to Q&A number 5. This is going to be a special Q&A as it is my 5th one. And I really appreciate all your guys' questions over the past few months. It's absolutely amazing that you guys asked me so many questions. I believe right now I have 46 questions, and in this video I'll be answering 25 of those questions. 5 questions per 5 clips, and each of those clips will have a different background of cars just to kind of spruce it up a little bit and keep it fresh throughout the video. Now there's a few things I need to mention right off the bat here, but basically if your question's not answered in this Q&A, I can most likely guarantee that it will be answered in the next Q&As because I answer all of your guys' questions. I really appreciate and value all of them, so I will answer every single question you guys ask unless you tell me not to do so after you already ask it. And just keep asking questions if you do want to. I am always open to questions. Just comment on any one of my videos and I will hopefully see your question and mark it down, and hopefully it'll be in the next few Q&As, and because I will be down to a minimal amount of questions, so I definitely encourage asking any questions. I really do appreciate if you do so. And that's basically all for the rules. There is like a rule video, but it's nothing really too much. If you want to check that out, I'll put it in the link or in the description below, along with some other of my previous Q&As. But let's start with the Q&A. Right. The first 5 questions are all asked by Chad Anderson. If you see a car you don't have in a store that has a few small chips, would you still buy it? Now, I would most likely buy it just so I don't regret not buying it in the future if that car becomes rare or I never see it again. But I'd definitely be in the search for one that's not chipped, and the one that is chipped I'd probably keep in the package. Next up, in your opinion, do you feel that it's necessary to replace every single car or plane that has a chip? Now, mostly I would say no, but it really depends on how severe the chipping is. If it's really bad and the chips are large and there's many, I definitely would replace it, like my Rusty Rusties and Dusty Rusties. I will be replacing those when the 2016 2-pack of them comes out, because the ones on mine the chips are very large and there's many of them. But if it's just a minor paint blemish, I would not want to replace that. But so the main answer to this is no, I don't think that every single car that has a chip should be replaced, but the ones that are severe, I definitely would replace them. Next up, what cars are in your household? My dad mainly drives a 2015 red GMC Denali, and that's also the family car. And my mom has a 2013 lime green Jeep Wrangler. When many years go by and you pass on, what would you like to happen to your collection? Now, I would definitely probably want it to be passed down to my children, as I don't really want to sell my collection in the future. I hope I won't have to, because I'm just saying that because I don't want to end up in a financial situation where I'm desperate and I need to sell my collection to get extra money. I don't want that to happen. I really hope it does not. But I guess that might have to happen if the circumstance is that severe. But in the best scenario, I would definitely want it to be passed down to my children. And the final question of this clip is, what plan do you have for funding your collection when you're investing money in your college education? Now, I'll be going to college in like 2019, 2020, so who knows if the never mind. The Cars line will definitely still be going on, because that'll just be 1 and 2 years after the third movie is released, because the third movie comes out in 2018, I believe in June 24th. I know that does seem like a while a ways from now, but it will sneak up on us very soon. So I will probably definitely still be collecting then, and I hopefully will be getting a scholarship of some sort, and I'll have a job, so I'll definitely try to pick up the new cars, but I might not be collecting as much as I am now. But I don't want to regret in the future when I get out of college that I didn't buy some of the other cars, because then it's really difficult to go back and get those cars off eBay. So I feel like I would just keep collecting the way I am if my financial situation is fit for that. So let's move on to the next clip. General Kenobi asks, what's your favorite Piston Cup team? I really like N20 Cola and Tank Coat just because their colors are really cool. I feel like the purple and the green on N20 Cola go really well together, and the pink and the white look very awesome. So those are definitely my favorite, because when they're all together it just looks really nice. Also asked by Jedi General Kenobi, what is your least favorite diecast? Now, I can't really think of my least favorite because I really do like all the diecasts, but if I were to pick one that looks pretty bad in my opinion, would be Minnie, just because I hate the fact that she doesn't have any eyebrows on her. And I know you guys probably know what I'm talking about, and I'll probably show a picture here, but Minnie does not have eyebrows. It's just her two eyes centered in a blank white space, and I feel like that just looks really bad because where are her eyebrows? She did not look like that in the movie. So I definitely do like the Lost in the Desert version of Minnie though, but the regular Minnie is horrible. And that's just my opinion though. I just feel like Mattel could have done a much better job with that. Next up, do you like a regular show? Asked by VeggieTales and the Wiggles, yes. Barney and Dora, no. I have never watched the regular show, so I wouldn't have an opinion on that. And you also asked if I like South Park. And again, I have not asked or watched that show, unfortunately. And I've heard some pretty good stuff about it, so I might have to start watching it. But as of now, I don't really watch that many TV shows. I do watch quite a few, but just not that many. And also asked by VeggieTales and the Wiggles, yes. Barney and Dora, no. Do you like any Disney shows? Now, I used to watch a lot of Disney as a kid. And I know I did enjoy quite a few of their shows, but I don't really watch it anymore. I usually just kind of stick to the main channels, or like the ABC and Netflix, and I do watch some of the sports. So I don't really watch Disney anymore, but I really did like some of their shows back when I was a kid. I can't really remember any of the specific ones though. Begin clip 3. Damian Fowler asks, what was your favorite film as a child? Now, I didn't really watch too many films when I was a child, but I was very young actually when I watched Cars and the Toy Story movies and stuff like that. So I would say those are probably some of my favorites, especially Cars, but you know, that's just kind of an obvious one right there. But I didn't really watch too many movies though. I did watch some like little TV shows such as like Bob the Builder, any of those type shows, and you know, I enjoyed it for being a kid and stuff like that. But I didn't really watch too many films. I really just started watching a lot of films in the past few years, and I really have started to enjoy quite a few of them. And next up, Damian Fowler asks, what is the worst film you have ever seen? Now, I'm very lenient when I watch movies. I think a lot of them are good. I don't know. I haven't seen enough movies to figure out which ones are bad, but there was this movie I watched this year that was really bad, and I am not trying to be offensive towards anybody. It's just a movie that I didn't personally like, and it's the spin-off of the Despicable Me movies called Minions, and I personally really like the Despicable Me movies, so I wanted to go see Minions, but I just didn't really care for it too much. And I feel like it's a lot more geared towards kids, this one is, because the other one I really liked when they had the Gru guy in there. I feel like that was the best part of the Despicable Me movies, but the Minions movies just didn't have that to it, and it just wasn't too good of a movie in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of people liked it, a lot of kids liked it, but it's just not for me. Diogo Calinas asks, I am sorry if I did not pronounce your name correctly, what is your favorite Piston Cup racer? And my favorite Piston Cup racer would definitely be the Apple Racer. I just feel like its elusiveness, and everybody has really always been wanting him. I feel like that would definitely be my favorite. I don't know, I also really like Apple. I have a lot of Apple technology in my computer, my phone, and some other stuff like that. So I do really like the Apple Racer. And Ross Cars and Planes asks, what's your favorite Piston Cup racer as well? And I'm going to give a few other examples of my favorite ones because I have a few. Taco Mint is definitely another one of my favorites because of his design on him. He's got like the gingerbread look to him with the candy. I feel like he's just an amazing racer. I also have to say I like Tank Coat because of the colors, of course. I feel like N20 Cola really needs a team, so I don't really care for him himself, but I also do like Vitaline. His colors are really cool along with Easy Idol. I just feel like those kind of colors look great with white, like the light blue and the light green and the pink. They just look really good with white. So those would definitely be some of my favorite Piston Cup racers. And to conclude the third clip, we have Roan Cox asks, how many fake cars do you own? And I don't really own any fake cars. I mean, I don't know what you would really classify as being a fake car, but all of my cars I know are legitimate. I mean, if you're referring to customs, I do have quite a few customs. My Apple car is actually a custom, along with an Apple crew chief in Pity. I also do have a couple custom haulers. I actually did a review of one in the spring, and hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be getting a review of the second one I have out. But I haven't gotten a chance yet because I was reviewing new stuff. And now, since everything is kind of slowing down, I feel like I'll be getting to some of the other stuff that's not really new for 2015, I guess you could say. But here's kind of a custom fake car, I guess you could say, from China. This is the custom American McQueen, and now this is like customized in like mass. At the factories, because like the China sellers somehow make these in the factories, or they get someone to make them, because these are mass produced, these American McQueens, along with like any other country. Like I also bought a China one, and there's many other ones. So these are, I guess you could say, fake customs. I'm not really sure what the term would be, but I actually really like them. I feel like the design looks really cool, so I did buy that. But I don't really know exactly how many. I don't really have that many. I'd probably say at most 10 custom cars, but I may be wrong. Okay, Ross Cars and Planes asks, if you could tell Mattel to release any car from any Cars game, which one would you pick? Now, I barely remember the Cars games. I played them when I was very young, and unfortunately, I can't go back and play them now because they actually don't work with my computer. As I said, I have a Mac computer, and they're not compatible with that anymore. So it's kind of unfortunate. So I cannot really play those games anymore. But I do remember which was my favorite race. I believe it was like in the Ornament Valley section of the game. I'm not sure which game it was. It might have been Racerama, but I remember you would race these 4 kind of like, I don't know, muscle kind of racing cars that have numbers on the side. And I actually had to look up their names, but I remember one was definitely Barry and Sonny. And I looked up the rest of them, and there's Barry, Sonny, Vince, and Lenny. And I really like those guys. They looked really cool. And I like the characters that they added to the game that weren't in the movies. I really like that. And I always wish for them to be released. We kind of got a tease of those being released in Tokyo Mater because there were some cars very similar to the video game characters, such as Tobu, but never actually got any video game releases, unfortunately. And it would be pretty cool if they did release that, but I doubt they would now. Who knows, with the release of Cars 3, there most likely will be a video game, and who knows, that might be a time when they want to release the diecast from that video game, but who really knows, they might release a diecast that goes along with the video game, something like that. That'd be kind of cool. So, Abigail Matera asks, what is your favorite Piston Cup hauler? Now, I'm going to go off the ones that have been released so far. So I would definitely say Bumper Save, and I believe I've answered this before, but I just love the colors on Bumper Save. The blue, the red, and the white. I mean, it's red, white, and blue. Just looks really cool in my opinion. And I might say a different hauler if another one was released, but out of the ones that have been released so far, that would definitely be my favorites. Abigail Matera also asks, what Piston Cup racers would you like to be released next year? And I don't really have any preferences since I have all of the Piston Cup racers, but I definitely feel like Gaskets and 4-wheel drive would definitely be great releases because they're kind of the more sought after Piston Cup racers, and they were released at the very end of all of the releases of the Piston Cup racers, so some people may not have them. I feel like they would be great re-releases, and actually on Amazon a listing has been posted, but it's currently unavailable, and most likely it's a 2016 release. But if you remember, back in 2015, Amazon had available a 5-car box set that had a box with 5 singles from the Piston Cup series in it. Now this will be basically the same thing, only it has more than 5, it's like 10, and it has a lot of Piston Cup racers, and most likely it's a 2016 release. So I believe we have Nitroade, Revolting Retread, and some other ones. I can't remember exactly, but I know I posted on my Google Plus community a few days ago if you want to check it out. Aquastrike asks, what's your favorite movie you've seen in 2015? I've seen some great movies this year. I really liked a lot of them. San Andreas back in April or May was really good. Of course, Avengers 2 was amazing in my opinion. I also like Mission Impossible, so I can't really pick one. But I'd have to say I do really like Ant-Man that was released in July. That was just a great movie. The comedy to it and the action was really good. And I just like a lot of the movies that have been released so far. There's also a movie that came out a few weeks ago called No Escape. That's pretty intense, but I definitely think it was a good movie. And there's some other movies that were released this year are definitely on my top list of all-time movies as well. Matera asks, what's your favorite brand of cereal? Now, every morning before I go to school, I eat Frosted Mini Wheats, and I really do like those. They're really good in my opinion, and they're pretty healthy for you as well. So there's nothing much really else to say about it. I haven't even ate that many different kinds of cereals before. Yeah, I really do like the Frosted Mini Wheats. In the final clip of Q&A number 5, the Cars Lab asks, who is your favorite Delinquent Road Hazard car? Now, I'd have to say Boost is definitely my favorite because I love his purple design along with the N20 Cola boosters and the double spoiler in the back. I feel like he just looks the best. Now, I do like all 4 of them, but as I said, Boost is definitely my favorite. The Cars Lab also asks, who is your favorite Piston Cup racer? Now, this has already been asked twice today in the Q&A, but I want to acknowledge all 3 of the people who asked that question just so they all get their shout out in this video. Now, I'm going to answer what is my favorite this year, and that would also be Taco Mint because he was released this year, but I also really like Ryan Shields. I was really happy to get him because the only other version I had of Ryan Shields was the lenticular version that just flashed or closed his eyes and then opened. So it was the early stages of lenticular eyes, so it wasn't even that good. He either had his eyes open or completely closed. Now, I didn't like that at all, and the surface of his eyes was really weird. It was really rivety, and it just kind of looked like a cheap car. So I was happy to get the diecast version with non-lenticular release. And Chad Anderson asks, if you went to the World Grand Prix and were going for the USA, who would you want to win, Lightning McQueen or Jeff Gorvette? Now, this is a pretty tough question, but I'd have to probably say Lightning McQueen because he's the main character of the Cars movies, and you want him to win because you know him better. You don't really know Jeff Gorvette, although he is based off of a real life person, Jeff Gordon. I'd probably have to go with Lightning McQueen. That's a great question though. Collection TV asks, next to Cars and Cars 2, which Pixar movie is your favorite? Now, this is a really tough question for me because I love basically all of the Pixar movies, and I love the Toy Story movies. All 3 of them are absolutely amazing. I like them all. I also like Up and WALL-E. But if I had to pick one behind Cars and Cars 2, I'd probably have to go with Up because I just love the emotion and heart that movie has. And to conclude Q&A number 5, Brett Berger asks, are you looking forward to the upcoming Precision series? Now, this is a pretty good topic to talk about and leads me into a thing I wanted to mention to you guys because I feel like every month at the end I'd like to do like a wrap-up video and talk about some of the new things that came out and new topics that were mentioned and stuff like that. For example, the Precision series, new 2016 2-packs, and any other topics like that. I feel like it'd be great to talk about in a video like that, so I'd have to figure out how I would do that, and just let me know if you think that's a good idea. But my answer to this question is, I'm looking forward to some of the buildings, as the whole Radiator Springs town was previewed at D23 this year, and they all look amazing. I have to say, when you get all of them, they will look absolutely amazing, especially when they all light up. And definitely the buildings that have never been released before look amazing, like the Racing Museum, the abandoned buildings between Ramon's and Luigi's, and the courthouse. The courthouse also looks amazing as well. But, they are going to be quite expensive, as Flows is actually available on Amazon right now for $100. Now, I have to say it's probably not worth that much, but it's definitely a nice addition if you don't have the regular Flows because it lights up. And I have to say the best feature about these Precision sets are the lighting up features. It just looks absolutely amazing when they light up. Fillmore's will also be coming in November. We also do get 3 singles. Now, this is probably the thing that I'm most excited about, because in November we're also going to get 3 individual singles, a part of the Precision series. We get Doc, Ramon, and Lightning McQueen. Now, these are all have rubber tires. Now, McQueen and Doc's hood open up, and Ramon's trunk opens, and he is working hydraulics, meaning you could have him down or you could have them up. Now I say that those are absolutely amazing. They come in a nice box, and it seems like they have some sort of license plate keychain. I know they have talked about that in Take 5 a day, but I know some of you may not know about all of them, and I have to say that's probably the aspect that I'm most looking forward to, especially if they do more than just the 3 I mentioned. If they do Mater and Sally, I feel like it would definitely be really cool to have all of those. And I do think I am looking forward to it, especially for newer collectors to get these, but I feel like a down aspect of the whole Precision series is the finance. Like, it's very expensive to buy these. Fillmore's will be $50, so that's a little bit more reasonable, but I would assume if they release the Cozy Cone, which will definitely be $100 because that's like a huge set, the Courthouse will probably be around $75 to $100, so we'll just have to see what happens. And now one thing that I do predict is that I don't believe all of these will be released. I feel like they're not gonna sell that many of these due to the expense, because I did see that Amazon sold, the last time I checked, it was like 15 to 20 of flows, and unfortunately that's not the numbers they want to be pulling in, because that's nothing compared to how many they made. They did not make that many, but they want to sell definitely more than 15 to 20, so I definitely believe if they continue with the bad sells, or so far it's bad ratings or whatever, they're probably not going to make all of the whole town of Radiator Springs, which is kind of unfortunate, but we'll see what happens. Maybe with Fillmore's there'll be more buys because he was never released before, so we'll just have to wait and see. So this concludes today's Q&A, and we'll probably have one next month. And now yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you all for the questions. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys did enjoy. I encourage you to ask more questions, because now I could definitely do the rest of the questions in next Q&A, but I'll probably get more questions. I took a lot of them out of the option today, answering 25 questions. So thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys on Sunday for a suggestion video. Bye now.